Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, hello, how are you today? I hope that you are in a good shape, you and your parents and your family. And I think that you are still, and I hope that you are still staying at home with your parents and your families. Okay, so for today's lesson, it's about functions, الوظائف, and we're going to tackle the lesson of making suggestions إعطاء الاقتراحات and how to make suggestions. So here the word suggestions mean الاقتراحات. Suggestion هو الاقتراح. So let's start with the first exercise. التمرين الأول. Exercise number 1. Match. Here we have the exercise. Match number 1. Match each sentence with the corresponding picture. So here we have pictures. Picture number 1, picture number 2, picture number 3, picture number 4, picture number 5, and we're going to match these pictures نربط هذه الصور with these sentences. So we have sentence number 1, sentence number 2, sentence number 3, number 4, and 5. So let's first study the lesson, the sentences. Let's see them. Number 1, there is an important match this afternoon. Let's go to the stadium and watch it. The second example is, the weather is nice today. What about going to the park? And the third example is, it's rainy and windy outside. Shall we stay at home and watch TV? Number 4, I'm very hungry. Why don't we eat a pizza? And number 5, we need ease. نحتاج إلى ease here, sorry. It is very hot. Let's eat an ice cream. Okay? So now let's match the pictures. Match the pictures to the sentences. Okay. You can stop the video. تستطيع أن توقف الفيديو and answer the question. Of course, you can stop the video and answer the question. And then you can play it again. So, for number 1, there is an important match. هناك مقابلة مهمة. This afternoon هذا الزوال. Let's go to the stadium. لنذهب إلى الملعب and watch it. ونشاهد المقابلة and watch it. Watch the match. So, the picture, of course, it is number 2. Picture number 2, this picture. So number 1 is picture number 2. Okay? So for sentence number 2, the weather is nice today. الطقس جميل اليوم. The weather هو الطقس. What about going to the park? لماذا لا نذهب إلى الحديقة, the park. Okay, right? So the park is here. So this is picture number 2. The weather is nice today. الطقس جميل اليوم. What about going? لماذا لا نذهب إلى الحديقة? So number 3, it's raining. الطقس ممطر. And windy, فيه رياح. Wind هي الرياح. Outside في الخارج. Shall we stay at home and watch TV? لنبقى في المنزل ونشاهد التلفاز. So here we have television. So the picture is number 5. For number 3, it is number 5. Number 4, I'm very hungry. Why don't we eat a pizza? أنا جائع جدا. لماذا لا نأكل? Why don't we eat a pizza? Pizza. So pizza is here. And I know, my dear students, that you love pizza and you like pizza. Okay? So you can ask your, parents, your mothers, to prepare pizza for you for today. If they don't refuse. Of course, they will not refuse. Okay, shall we stay at home and watch TV? So we said for number 4, I'm very hungry. Why don't we eat a pizza? So this is the picture number 4. And number 5, it's very hot. It is, we need here is. نحتاج إلى the verb is here. يجب أن نكتب is here. It is very hot. الجو حار. Hot. Let's eat an ice cream. لنأكل ice cream. So ice cream is here. Ice cream is here. So this is for the pictures. So we have finished with the pictures. Now let's see the examples. There is an important match this afternoon. Let's go to the, where are the expressions in these 5 sentences? في هذه الجمل الخمسة. Where are the expressions, العبارات, to make suggestions لكي نقوم باقتراح? Okay. So if we start with number 1, there is an important match this afternoon. Let's go to the stadium and watch it. So here the expression, it's clear. Let's. لنفعل كذا. Let's go. لنذهب. let's eat لنأكل, let's swim لنسبح, etc. The expression is let's. The second example is the weather is nice today. What about going to the park? What is the expression here? الطقس جميل اليوم. What about is the expression. ماذا عن. What about. ماذا عن. Okay. What about going to the park? لماذا لا نذهب إلى الحديقة, the park. So the expression العبارة هي what about. The third example, it's raining. الجو ممطر and windy outside. الجو ممطر وفيه رياح outside في الخارج outside. Shall we, the expression is shall we لنبقى في المنزل. Shall we stay هي نبقى في المنزل, on reste à la maison and watch TV ونشاهد التلفاز. So shall is the expression. I'm very hungry, why don't we? The expression here is why don't. لماذا لا? Why don't we eat? Why don't we go? Why don't we swim? And for number 5, it's very hot. Let's eat an ice cream. Let's again is the expression, the same like this one, like number 1. Okay, so if we go to expressions, عبارات, how to make suggestions, كيف نقوم باقتراحات, we have here seen let's لنفعل كذا plus verb يكون بعدها الفعل. After let's we have the verb in the infinitive, يكون الفعل في infinitive لوحده غير مصرف. Example here, let's go to the beach. Example on the right في اليمين, let's go. We have after let's verb without to. لا نستعمل to. We don't say let's to go. Number 2, what about plus verb plus ing. For example, what about playing? We didn't say لم نقل what about play, but we said what about playing. بعد هذه العبارة, after this expression what about, we use verb plus ing. What about playing a football match this evening? ماذا عن لعب لقاء أو مباراة في كرة القدم هذا المساء, this evening. What about again? After what about we can use also a noun. نستطيع نستعمل الاسم. For example, what about a pizza? I am very hungry. I am very hungry. What about a pizza? Okay. The third expression, why don't we plus verb. For example, on the right في اليمين, why don't we do our homework? Why don't we do لماذا لا ننجز واجبنا المنزلي, our homework. And the last example, shall we. Shall we. We use shall plus subject, as you can see here. Shall we, shall you, shall I, plus verb. Shall we go to the cinema? We don't say shall we go in. Shall we go to the cinema? Shall we eat a pizza? Shall we go to the beach, etc. These are some expressions بعض العبارات that we have seen here in this exercise. Now we're going to move to the second exercise, okay? So for the second exercise here, we have, now look at these pictures. We have pictures here, as you can see, pictures here. Look at these pictures. Describe the weather, then make suggestions. You're going to look at the pictures first. ننظر إلى الصور. Describe the weather, تصف الطقس, and then you make suggestions, تعطي اقتراحات, and you use, of course, تستعمل هذه العبارات. You use the following expressions. Okay, so let's start with picture number 1. We have the adjective hot plus beach is the place. This is the beach, and hot, the weather is hot, which means حار. Snowing, فيه تلج. Snowman, you know snowman, رجل تلج, snowman. Windy, رياح, جو فيه رياح. Hot coffee, this is a drink, هذا مشروب, hot coffee, يعني قهوة ساخنة. Rainy, as you can see, ممطر. Play video games is the action. Then we have midday, يعني ميدي, الزوال, and we have the verb to eat. Have sunny, the weather is sunny, and shopping, تسوق, to go shopping. Then we have terribly cold, الجو بارد, cold, terribly, بارد جدا, it's terribly cold. And this is the house, okay, home. And then we have cloudy, which means clouds, سحب, فيه سحب, غيام, أو غيوم. So we have taxi, cloudy, جو فيه يعني الغيم, غيوم. And then we have a taxi. You are going to describe the weather, سوف نصف الطقس, and make suggestions, وسوف تعطي اقتراحات, using these expressions باستعمال هذه العبارات. So you can stop the video, of course, تستطيع أن توقف الفيديو, and you can do the exercise and then see the correction. تستطيع أن تستمع إلى التصحيح afterwards. So Here we have the first example. We can say it is hot. With adjectives, we can use the verb to be to describe the weather. كي نصف الطقس. We can say it is hot. It is hot. الجو حار. Let's go to the beach. لنذهب إلى البحر. Or you can say, what about going to the beach? Or why don't we go to the beach? Or shall we go to the beach? تستطيع أن تستعمل واحد من هذه العبارات. You can use one of these expressions. So it is hot. Let's go to the beach. Here, it is snowing. Let's make لنصنع. The verb to make. Let's make a snowman. لنصنع رجل الثلج. In the third example, it is windy. الجو فيه رياح. Let's drink لنشرب. Let's drink. Or why don't we drink? You can use one of the expressions. تستطيع أن تستعمل واحد من العبارات. It's windy. Let's drink hot coffee. Number 4, it is rainy. الجو ممطر. What about playing video games? Or let's play video games. Or shall we play video games? Okay? The next picture is, it's midday. C'est midi. Let's eat lunch, for example. لنأكل الغداء. Or let's have lunch. Okay. Then we have, it's sunny. الجو مشمس. What about going shopping? Or let's go shopping. Or why don't we go shopping? Or shall we go shopping? The next one, it is terribly cold. الجو بارد جدا. Let's stay at home. لنبقى في المنزل. Let's stay at home. Next one, it's cloudy. Let's take a taxi. For the word taxi, we should use the verb take. نأخذ. لنأخذ taxi. Let's take a taxi. Let's take a taxi. Or why don't we take a taxi? Or what about taking a taxi? Okay, so this is for all for the second exercise. So now let's move to more exercises. لنمر إلى تمارين أكثر about how to make suggestions. And let's start with some practice. Exercise number 1. Okay, we have here match the following exercise number 1. Match the following expressions. Then write accepted or declined. You match the expressions العبارات. Okay. And then بعدها you write accepted مقبول or declined refused مرفوض. Okay? For example, let's start with the first one. Why don't we go to the cinema? لماذا لا نذهب إلى السينما? How about going to the سوق? ماذا عن الذهاب إلى السوق or the market? How do you feel? The third one. How do you feel about playing football? How do you feel? هذه عبارة أخرى. This is another expression for suggestions. How do you feel? ماذا ترى في كذا? feel هي فعل أحس. But here the meaning المعنى is ماذا ترى في فعل كذا وكذا. How do you feel about playing football? How do you feel about? And after how do you feel about, we use verb plus ing. Play, playing. So let's prepare couscous. لنحضر يعني الكسكس. Right? In the other side we have A, B, C, D. Of course you can stop the video. تستطيع أن توقف الفيديو and do the exercise and then play it again. So on the other side we have the answers. الأجوبة عن هذه الاقتراحات. The answers of these suggestions. We have A, I am sorry, I'm sick, I can't play now. B, that's a great idea. C, I'm sorry, I have seen that film before. And D, sure, why not? I need to buy some vegetables. So for the first one, why don't we go to the cinema? لماذا لا نذهب إلى السينما? This is a suggestion. هذا اقتراح. For the answer, it is letter C, of course. It is C. Why? I'm sorry, أنا آسف. I have seen that film before. لقد رأيت هذا الفيلم من قبل. So, for the second one, how about going to the سوق? ماذا عن الذهاب إلى السوق? The market. The answer is, okay, D. Why D? Sure, أكيد. Sûrement. Why not? لماذا لا? I need to buy. أحتاج إلى شراء. To buy some vegetables. بعض من الخضر. أحتاج إلى شراء بعض الخضر. I need to buy some vegetables. Number 3. How do you feel about playing football? ماذا ترى في لعب كرة القدم? Okay. The answer is, of course, A. Why A? Because I'm sorry, أنا آسف. I'm sick. I'm sick. يعني أنا مريض. I can't play now. لا أستطيع أن ألعب الآن. And the last one, let's prepare couscous. لنحضر الكسكس. The answer is B. That's a great idea. هذه فكرة جيدة. We have finished the matching. انتهينا من ربط الجمل مع بعضهم البعض. We have finished linking the two sentences. Now we go to the answer here. We say accepted مقبولة هذه الأجوبة or declined هذه الاقتراحات these suggestions or declined suggestions أو اقتراحات مرفوضة refused. So we go to the first one, to A. I'm sorry, I'm sick, I can't play. So here, of course, we should say that it is declined. أنا آسف أنا مريض. So here هنا رفض. Declined suggestions. So we write here نكتب هنا declined. The second one is that's a great idea. هذه فكرة جيدة. Of course, it is accepted. C. I am sorry أنا آسف. I have seen that film before. لقد رأيت الفيلم من قبل. So here declined, refused, مرفوض. اقتراح مرفوض. D. Sure, why not? لماذا لا? I need to buy. أحتاج إلى شراء بعض الخضر. I need to buy some vegetables. Of course, it is accepted. Okay? Now we move on to the next exercise. Okay. For exercise number 2, fill in the chart using the following expressions. We have a chart here. Column number 1, column number 2, and column number 3. What do you have in this chart? You have making suggestions, إعطاء الاقتراحات, accepting suggestions in the second column في الخانة الثانية, يعني قبول الاقتراح, declining suggestions, رفض الاقتراح. And we're going to see more expressions, وسوف نرى عبارات أكثر, more expressions about suggestions. Okay? So we have column number 1, making suggestions, إعطاء الاقتراحات, column number 2, accepting, column number 3, refusing. So for number 1, we're going to see more, of course, in this exercise في هذا التمرين سوف نرى, we're going to see more expressions, عبارات أكثر. Why don't we? لماذا لا نفعل كذا وكذا? Of course, the answer, الجواب, it's making suggestions. Okay, let's call them column number 1, column number 2, and column number 3. الخانة الأولى, الثانية, الثالثة. Okay, number 1, why don't we? لماذا لا نفعل كذا وكذا? It is column number 1. It is number 1. Number 1. That's a good idea. Number 2, فكرة جيدة. This is accepting. Why not? لماذا لا? Why not? This is accepting. What about ماذا عن? Plus ing form. What about playing? What about going? ماذا عن فعل كذا? This is making suggestions. It's column 1. Sorry, I can't. آسف لا أستطيع. Column number 3. Let's go, let's eat, let's do. It is making suggestions. Sure, I'd love to. أحب ذلك. أحب فعل ذلك. Okay, this is accepting. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I'm afraid تعني أنا آسف هنا. I'm afraid. وتعني كذلك أنا خائف. But here هنا تعني I'm sorry. I can't. لا أستطيع. This is declining. Would you like to? هل تحب فعل كذا? This is making suggestions. I'd love to. أحب ذلك. But ولكن. This is declining. How do you feel about going? How do you feel about playing? ماذا ترى في فعل كذا? Number 1. Making. Now, let's not. No, sorry. Let's not. Let's not يعني لا نفعل ذلك, which is declining. Number 13. No, I don't want to. لا أريد ذلك. This is declining. Number 14. Yes, but ولكن. This is declining. It's a great idea. فكرة جيدة. This is accepting. It's a bad idea. This is declining. How about playing? How about doing? This is making suggestions. So عندنا what about, we have what about, or how about, plus ing. This is making suggestions. Fancy doing something, or we can say do you fancy or fancy. Fancy هل يعني يظهر لك أن نفعل كذا وكذا, أو هل تريد فعل كذا وكذا. Fancy playing football, fancy eating pizza, or do you fancy? It is making suggestions. We could, نستطيع فعل كذا. Could. This is making suggestion. It would be nice to. سيكون الأمر جميلا إذا فعلنا وكذا وكذا. Okay. This is making suggestions. Okay. Yes, of course. Accepting. Yes, of course يعني بطبيعة الحال. No, I'd rather not. أفضل عدم فعل ذلك. No, I'd rather not. Let's go to the beach. No, I'd rather not. أفضل لا أفعل ذلك. Yes, with pleasure. بكل فرح, بكل سرور. With pleasure. Okay, this is accepting. And next one. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. يعني لا أحب فعل ذلك. لا أحس بأني أريد أن أفعل ذلك. This is declining. And the next one. I quite understand. يعني فهمت ذلك. I quite understand. This is accepting suggestion. I dislike. لا أحب فعل ذلك. Plus ing. This is refusing, declining. Next one. That sounds يظهر لي بأنها like a good idea. بأنها فكرة جيدة. That's accepting. I suggest that. أقترح بأن. This is making suggestions. هذه عبارات جديدة. These are new expressions. أقترح أن. I suggest that we go to the beach. Okay. Does it matter? هل هناك مشكل if إذا ما فعلنا كذا وكذا? This is making suggestions. For example, does it matter if we go to the beach? Does it matter if you prepare a pizza? Okay. If we prepare a pizza. Does it matter if we visit our relatives? Shall we? This is making suggestions. What an awful idea. يا لها من فكرة سيئة. This is declining. What a great suggestions. يا له من اقتراح جيد. Accepting. Sure. أكيد. Why not? Accepting. It doesn't look like. لا يظهر لي بأنها فكرة. A good thing. شيء جيد to do. لكي نفعله. This is declining. So these are expressions, عبارات of making suggestions اقتراحات, accepting suggestions قبول الاقتراحات, and declining suggestions رفض الاقتراح. Okay. So now we move to exercise number 3, التمرين الثالث. Exercise, of course, number 3. Use the following cues and write a short dialogue. اكتب واحد الحوار قصير, then act it out, ويعني قم بهذا الحوار. So we have speaker A, المتكلم الأول, speaker A. You love movies, أنت تحب الأفلام, and you can't wait, لا تستطيع أن تنتظر to see the new action film, لكي ترى أو تشاهد the new action film, يعني فيلم الأكشن الجديد this weekend, هذا العطلة نهاية الأسبوع, this weekend. Speaker B, your friend or your brother or whatever. You hate action films, يعني تكره أفلام الأكشن, and would rather وتفضل do something different, أن تفعل شيء مختلف, outside if possible, في الخارج إذا كان ممكن. For example, you love any type of sport, تحب أي نوع من الرياضة, and would be willing وتريد, you'd be willing to play football, أن تلعب كرة القدم or basketball. Both speakers, المتكلمان معا, try to come to some type of agreement. حاولوا أن تصلوا إلى نوع من agreement, اتفاق, that fits both your personalities, الذي سوف يناسب both معا your personalities, شخصيتكما معا your personalities. Okay, so we can say here نستعمل العبارات التي رأينا من قبل that we have seen before. Of course you can stop the video, تستطيع أن توقف الفيديو وأن تكتب dialogue, you can write the dialogue. I give you an example. For speaker A, you love movies, تحب الأفلام. So you can say, let's go to the cinema, or let's watch the new action film this weekend. I can't wait. لا أستطيع الانتظار. Let's, استعملنا عبارة, we use the expression let's, or we can use I suggest that we watch the new action film this weekend. I can't wait. لا أستطيع الانتظار. Your friend says, speaker B, سوف يقول, I'd rather, okay, he can use one of these expressions of declining that we have seen before, التي رأينا من قبل. He can say, what an awful idea, يا لها من فكرة سيئة. Or I'd rather not. No, I'd rather not. Or I don't feel like it. لا أشعر بأني أريد ذلك. I don't feel like it. I hate, أكره. I hate action films. I would rather, for example, I love sports. You can say I love sports. I'd rather play football. Or I suggest that we play football. Or what about playing football or basketball? Okay? both of you now الاثنان معا. Okay, let's do both. لنفعل الأمرين معا. Let's do both. Or what about doing both? Let's watch the film, the new action film this weekend, and play football or play basketball. Okay? So we recapitulate on récapitule ونعيد ما قلناه بالنسبة لدرس اليوم for today's lesson about making suggestions. These phrases هذه العبارات or these expressions we use them نستعملها to make suggestions and give advice to people ونعطي بها حتى النصيحة للناس. So making suggestions, for example, let's revise our lessons. What about going to the cinema tonight? How about plus verb plus ing? What about plus verb plus ing? How about playing cards? Why don't we plus verb in the infinitive? Why don't we do our homework? لماذا لا ننجز واجبنا المنزلي? Couldn't we? ألا نستطيع فعل كذا? Couldn't we? Or we can say ونستطيع كذلك أن نقول, we can say we could invite your grandmother, or couldn't we invite your grandmother to our party? ألا نستطيع أن يعني ندعو جدتك لحفلتنا, to our party. Next examples, shall we have a walk? هل يمكننا مثلا أن نتمشى, have a walk along the river, يعني عبر النهر. What would you say to ماذا تقول عن كذا? This is another expression, هذه عبارة أخرى. ماذا يظهر لك في كذا وكذا? What would you say to a cup of coffee? Okay, what would you say to? What would you say to a cup of coffee? After this expression بهذه العبارة نستعمل noun, we use a noun. What would you say to a pizza? What would you say to a match, etc. Do you think it is a good idea? هل تعتقد بأنها فكرة جيدة to watch TV? كل هذه العبارة, all this expression. Do you think that it is a good idea to plus verb in the infinitive? Don't you think? ألا تعتقد? Don't you think? ألا تعتقد? Sorry, don't you think? ألا تعتقد? It is a good idea بأنها فكرة جيدة to do something, to watch TV, to go to the beach, to play something, etc. Does it matter if we use your car? هل عندك مشكل? Does it matter if? كل هذه العبارة. Does it matter if? هل عندك مشكل إذا? If إذا C. Does it matter if we use your car? Does it matter if we go to the beach? Does it matter if I use your computer? Etc. Okay? If we use your computer. Accepting عندما نقبل الاقتراح ماذا نستعمل العبارات? Okay, yes, let's. Yes, I'd like to. أحب ذلك. Yes, I'd love to. أحب ذلك. What a good idea. لها من فكرة جيدة. Why not? لماذا لا? Yes, with pleasure. بكل سرور. Yes, I feel like. أحس بأني taking a walk. I feel like بعد I feel like نستعمل we use verb plus ing. I feel like taking a walk. أحس بأني أريد أن أتمشى. That sounds like a good idea. يظهر لي بأنها فكرة جيدة. Okay, for refusing بالنسبة للرفض we can say no, let's not. لا نفعل ذلك. I'd rather not. لا أفضل ذلك. I don't feel like it. لا أشعر بأني أحب ذلك. I dislike going for a walk. يعني أكره أن أذهب إلى كذا وكذا. I dislike playing games, etc. What an awful, what a bad idea. يا لها من فكرة سيئة. Things to remember, أشياء يجب أن نتذكرها بالنسبة ل suggestions. The verb suggest, فعل suggest. نستطيع أن نستعمله. We can use it with verb like I suggest that. هذه تبقى اختيارية. I suggest that, or I suggest we should. نستعمل should بأننا ينبغي لنا أن نفعل كذا. I suggest we should go to the theater, or I suggest that we go. نستعمل فقط الفعل. I suggest subjunctive. I suggest we go. I suggest we play, etc. We go to the movies. For two, that is optional اختيارية. I suggest that we should visit Paris, or I suggest we should visit Paris. Or we can say I suggest we visit Paris without should. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. شكرا للمشاهدة. And see you for another lesson إن شاء الله. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.